know if the screen is visible, or else you just see the uh, cursor. Whether PPT is visible or just the cursor.
It's visible, sir.
PPT is visible, right? And before we start, I will. I mean, just one thing about the assignment. Marks were returned yesterday. If you have any doubts, we can discuss after the class. Uh, I mean, those who want to stay back can stay back, others can leave. But there is one general information which will help you in your midterm and other exams also. We have seen that people have written just answers. For example, if you consider the first question, Q1 is equal to something, Q2 is equal to something, Q3 is equal to something, median is equal to something, mode is equal to something. Finally, draw the diagram. There is no steps at all. This time, maybe those people have got 50% of the marks. If you do repeat the same thing in midterm, it's straight away zero. That is one thing I want to make it very clear. And yeah, that is the main thing, I guess. Without steps, there is no marks. This instructions was put in that set of instructions also. If you just go to your assignment and see, it was clearly written as one of the instructions that straight answers or maybe detailed steps is necessary. It's mandatory. It's not even necessary. It's mandatory. So here we have considered maybe 50 to 60% of the marks we have given, but in midterm, don't expect even that. It's a straight away zero. And we, as a general policy, we have not considered any answer scripts which is not uploaded. So please don't ask that. It holds good for remaining quiz end sems also, or midterms also. If if you want us to consider, it should be uploaded within time, because uploading one sheet will not require 15 minutes. I'm talking about your assignment. Assignment, I don't think people have written more than two sheets, because there was nothing to write more than two sheets. So two sheets also, it won't require 15 minutes to upload, whatever the uh, net situation be. So please start scanning and uploading as soon as that time limit ends. Don't wait for, don't take 15 minutes of 20. If 20 minutes is given for scanning upload, don't take 15 minutes to write. And last 5 minutes, if you can't upload, don't email us, because there are many emails which you have not considered. They have been awarded zero, and we are not considering. Same holds good for your midterm also. So please be careful for that. Okay. So we'll just start with the first, uh, I mean, the next chapter, that is your classification. Uh, you know what is classification? That is like, for example, um, there is particular object. Okay. You have to classify. There are two possibilities: the object or anything, any particular thing can either be a living thing or a non-living thing. You have to classify one of this, given a label. So the one example is given here. A bank officer needs to classify whether a particular customer is safe or risky, especially in terms of loan approval. So this data analysis, I mean, whether a customer is safe or risky, the data analysis is called classification. Now the task, data mining task, which you will be using here is the classification, for which you try to build a model which is called a classifier, which will predict or which will classify a particular customer based on his details. Details might be his age, his income, uh, what is the duration, or still how much time is left for his retirement, etc. These might be few of the details of the customer. So based on these customers, Based on training data, the classifier will either classify him as either safe or risky. So your data classification is usually a two-step process. Okay, basically, how does data classification work? It's a two-step process. The first step is the learning step, where you train the model or you construct the model by using a training data set. Next is classification step, where you give a data, it is called a test data, which uses the classification model or which is fed into a classification model to predict class label for that particular data. This one example is given here. If you can see, this is the training data that is fed into the classification algorithm. This is the learning phase. So based on this data and the classification algorithm or the model which you have built, it will create certain rules. It's like it is learning from the data. If age is youth, then loan decision is risky. Youth matlab college students. You can just giving college students loans without any surety. The youth matlab maybe you can take even school students also because they don't have any income. How will they repay back? So that decision might be risky. If the income is very high, maybe a particular person is getting 1 lakh per annum, 1 lakh per month as a salary. So giving him loan, if you give 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs loan also, or maybe 1 crore, you are pretty sure that he will be able to repay it because he is getting a high salary. Then if the age is middle aged, maybe he is somewhere around 45, 50. Income is also low, he is getting somewhere around 50,000. Then if you give somewhere around 50 lakhs or 1 crore as loan, then it might be very risky for him. I mean, that would be a risky process because he might retire in 10 years or 8 years. His income is also low. After retirement, there will be no income as such. Even though you consider pension, it might not be as much as the salary which he is getting. So it might be a risky job to approve such a loan. So this is the learning phase. Once it is learned, you have this test data. Test data and training data are mutually exclusive. It is different. Test data should not be the same data which you have used for training. So this classification rules, anyways, it would have learned from the training data. So based on the classification rules, you give the test data and see how well your classifier is performing. This performance of your classifier is based on metric called accuracy. So accuracy is a metric. We will see in depth things about this metrics used for your data mining models. It's called the model evaluation parameters. What parameters are used for model? This is very important. Whether you go for data mining algorithms, machine learning, deep learning, whatever models you create, you cannot just do anything without this metrics. One of the metrics which we'll be studying maybe a little later. That after this classification, it is clustering. Once the clustering is done, we will come to this model evaluation parameters. The next is a decision tree. This is one of the algorithms, and problem is today what we are going to study is only this: how a decision tree should be constructed. A decision tree is your one of the classification algorithms. This algorithm is there for your lab also. Okay, one of the before your lockdown, you would have done this what is that Infosphere. After that, I took one maybe small session about how to do with the RapidMiner. Okay. After RapidMiner, the next thing is coding. The first code which you will be doing is a priori algorithm. That ma'am has already taught. The second coding is this ID3, decision tree. So you might be asked to write code or algorithm or pseudocode or problems or all of this in your quiz assignment or instance. So we'll start the thing. I want people to respond when I ask something, especially when problem solving. I want you to solve the problems. Later, don't tell me it was difficult. I didn't understand this. I didn't understand that. When if you don't respond here, if you don't respond here, don't expect any response later also from my end for whatever issues. So the decision tree induction will just start. So it's like flowchart. A decision tree is a flowchart like basically tree-like structure, something like this, where your internal node, that is non-leaf node, like as you can see, student and credit rating. Credit rating. This is non. See, leaf node are represented by circle here. Okay, oval or circle, whatever you call it as. Non-leaf nodes are represented by a rectangle. So your internal node denotes a test on attribute. You're testing this attribute. See, you are testing age is attribute. You're performing some test on age to see the split. Again, you're performing some test on student attribute to see what is the split. So this internal node denotes a test on attribute, and each branch is this line. It denotes an outcome of the test. Student is like it's either a no or a yes. Okay. This is one thing, and each leaf node, that is the terminal node, okay, holds the class label, the ultimate class label, and this topmost node is the root node. Okay. So this is one thing. So this particular decision tree is for scenario where a person, you're trying to see whether a person buys a particular computer or not. Basically, computer. If a person is buying a computer or not. Okay. So ultimately, if the age is youth, if he is a student, then maybe he will buy. If age is middle aged, then more chances that he will buy. If age is senior with a good credit rating, more chances that he will buy. If age is senior with fair or less credit rating, there are chances that he will not buy a computer. So this is something how this you would infer this particular tree. Okay. So this is uh, your decision tree algorithm, but before that there are a few things. So there's how this decision tree are used for classification. This I told you it's the same thing. So given a tuple x, uh, it is tested against the decision tree. There is a tuple. There is a tuple given that age is middle aged uh, or age is youth and is not a student. You are asked to classify. So you have to draw the decision tree, or maybe if decision tree is given, you have to go through decision tree. Age is youth and he is not a student. So most probably he won't buy. So this is how decision tree is used for classification. And why I can make a statement that decision trees are quite popular, especially in classification, especially for no only for classification, because decision tree is a classification algorithm or a classification mechanism which we'll use. The main reason why this decision tree classifiers are popular is that they do not require a domain knowledge. All you have to know is how to create a decision tree. You did not know the domain knowledge. So even though you don't know something about finance, maybe you can create a domain, you can create a decision tree and given a particular test data set or test tuple, you can classify that as one of the class labels. And one more reason is it can handle multi-dimensional data. That is one more reason why it is popular. And it's like, as you can see, it's very simple and it is fast. Once a decision tree is drawn, given a particular tuple, it's very fast to either classify the data tuple to one of the possible classes. So this decision tree have been used in many applications, like your medicine, financial analysis, as I told you, even in molecular and astrobiology kind of things. So this is quite popular algorithm. Okay. Now we will see this algorithm, but before that, if we solve a one problem and then come back to this algorithm, you will be in a better position to understand. So we'll just go to this algorithm first. The first thing I will just in brief I will just tell you. There will be a node n. This is the node. If all the tuples of the same class, if all the tuples are of the same class, say there is no at all, only s is there, then you can return that n as a leaf node with the class s, class c, that is yes. There is only single class, that is yes. So we'll just rename that node as s and return. Maybe you change this rectangle to a circle with yes and return, because all the classes are yes. So anything, whatever the combination you give, so you are supposed to get yes only. So there is, you will stop there. Okay. So if the attribute list is empty, so there are no attributes at all. I mean, only one attribute maybe. In that case, what you will do is you will do the majority voting. If the majority class is yes, then you will return that particular node as you will convert that particular node as leaf node with majority class. If there is only single attribute or the attribute list is empty. If there are multiple attributes, as in this case, age is attribute, student is attribute, credit rating is attribute. There are multiple attribute in this case. In that case, you have to choose this attribute selection method. Okay. To find out the best splitting criteria. See here, I will just show you one this thing. See, this is the actually the overall data set. You have this age, you have income, you have student, and you have credit rating. These are the 4 attributes. This is class. You leave class for now. These are the 4 attributes. So on what basis they have chosen the age here as the first step for classification? Why not student? Why not credit rating? Yeah, one more thing. Why not income? Why only age? So that is where your attribute selection comes into picture. So you have to use one of the attribute selection method to find the best splitting criteria. Here they might have got age as his best splitting criteria in the first go, so they have used age. Now before moving forward with this algorithm, we will see what are the different attribute selection methods. So your attribute selection method is basically a heuristic selection where you will find the best criteria for data partitioning. So it's like if we are asked to split the entire data set into smaller partitions, so you have to choose the best splitting criteria. Okay. For that, you need some attribute selection method. So there are 3 attribute selection method which we are going to see. One is your information gain ratio, and Gini index. We'll see one by one. And I want you to solve this. maybe note this down so that I did not come back to this slide again and again. And again, I'm telling this is very important. If you don't practice, you will definitely find this bit long. And there is no haphazard thing. You have to do multiple calculations to get the correct answer. Okay. First, I will tell you. Please note down all the equations. I will tell you one by one. So, if you consider node n, okay. So I am. Since the college is closed, I don't have that e-pad or tab and a pen to write. So pardon my handwriting for today, or maybe till the college reopens. I'll try to make it as legit as possible. Okay. So consider a node n which holds a tuple. Means it is like a data set which represents or holds a tuple of the dataset D. Okay. The attribute for which you get the highest information gain, that is this. If the gain is maximum for a particular attribute, that attribute is chosen as the splitting attribute. Maybe for this case, they might have got the gain as highest for age attribute. So only they have used age at the first go. So see, this is your information gain. This is one equation which you will do will consider. One is for each class. M is the number of classes here. Okay. For 1 to M, you find info of D. That is, D is the data set here, which is given by negative summation of for whatever classes. How many our classes is there? You have to find pi log to the base 2. I mean, be careful here. It's not base 10. It's base 2. Log to the base 2 pi. What is pi here? Pi is a non-zero probability that some random tuple belongs to class Ci. So it is given by class divided by your data set. Okay. And this log function 2, that is log function to the base 2, is used because the information is usually encoded in bits. Okay. So that is the reason we have used log 2 here. And info D, the whatever you get the value, info D, it is the average amount of information which is needed to identify a class label for a tuple in D. So that is the information which you will be requiring. The info D is also known as entropy. So you might in your question paper it can be find entropy of this particular data set, which is same as your info D. Info D is same as your entropy. Okay. The next is we have got this information. How much more information we still need to arrive at exact classification? It is denoted by this particular thing. This is attribute wise. If you can see, this is for entire data set. D is the data set. This is attribute wise. A is the attribute here. So this is the equation. You just note down this particular equation. We'll come back on how to calculate this. So info A on D is the expected information which we still require to do exact classification. by partitioning by A. A is the attribute here. What is the exact more information you require? Okay. The smaller this particular value, smaller the expected information gain, that is info A, greater the purity of participation, that is greater the chance that uh, you have got all the information from info D. Lesser the amount of info D, greater the purity of the participation. I mean the partition. That is one thing you have to remember. Next, what is the info gain? We are talking about info gain in general. That is this. It is given by the difference between the original information and the newer requirement after partitioning on A. A is attribute. It is something like this. You have the original information. What is the information you got after partitioning on some attribute, say age? So that is given by total information gain for that particular attribute is given by info D minus info A of D. It's like, in other words, if you can say this gain on a particular attribute tells us how much we would be gained by branching on that particular attribute. Okay. So the attribute A, for which this gain is maximum, that we will be choosing as the splitting criteria. Hopefully till this much it's clear. Okay. We'll start with the problem. Note down this data set. I will give you some time. Please note down the data set. Solve the problem side by side so that it is there in one book and you need not come back, see videos and again. Please note down this data set. I will give you maybe 2 to 3 minutes. Please note it down. And step by step, I will tell you. Please note down the steps. Take the calculator, solve, and let me know the answers. First, for now, just note down the data set. Note it down, everyone. Note it down. Please respond.
No, sir. Still right.
No, sir, 2 minutes.
Is it done? I'll just open Word. Just let me know whether you have it's visible. I mean, my desktop is visible as it is, right? Whatever I'm doing, it's visible, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
See now, the first thing you have to do with this is find info-D. That is for entire data set. As I told you, info-D is given by C divided by D. That is the classes divided by their entire data set. For this, you have to see what is the number of classes. I mean, what are classes? Which classes is available here as far as this particular data set is concerned? What are the classes here? How many classes are there? What are classes are there?
Sir, 6 classes.
How many six? Why is how six? There are only two classes. It's either S or NO. There are only two classes here. See, this is the class part. Bytes computer. It's either a S or a no. So you first thing is you have to count how many S are there and how many no are there. What is how many S are there? How many tuples are classified under S and how many tuples are classified under no? So what is the count of S? It is count of S is
Sir, 9.
9. Correct. So first thing you have to do is based on this particular equation. See, this is the equation. Minus have to see for the both the classes. See, it is from 1 to M. M here is 2 because two classes S and no. So you will do summation twice, one for class S and one for class no. 9 divided by 9 is the total number of S out of 14. There are 14 tuples here. There are 14 records is 14. So out of which 9 is yes. Next is the algorithm says log to the base 2. This is log to the base 2. Again followed by pi. Pi is 9 by 14 again. This is for class yes. How many tuples is there for class no?
Sir, 5.
5. So 5 out of 14 is class no. So this is for second part with class no, second class. Again log to the base 2 5 by 4. 5 by 14, sorry. So what is the info gain you get? Info of D. This is info of D. This is for entire data set. Info of D which you get after doing this is, what is the value? Again, this is not, again I'm repeating, this is base 2. Don't get confused that this is base 2, not what is the info of D you got?
Sir, 0.9403.
It is 0.940 bits. Okay. So info D is this. Okay. Now you know info D. Now you have to find what is the second thing. Second thing is info A of D for each of the attribute. So what are the different attributes here? Age, income, student, and credit rating. There are 4 attributes. So for each of the attributes, you have to find info A of D. A here means attribute. So first thing we will find is info of age, that is info A of D. That is info age of D. This is the first attribute. You have to do this for all the attributes. So the what was the equation for this? Info A of D is dj by d into info D. That is for this. We'll see how to do. You have to, for that you have to first see this one particular thing. For age, what are the different values? One is youth, one is senior, one is middle-aged. So there are 3 possible values for the attribute age. 3 possible values where this attribute age can be filled with. Okay. We will see one by one. The first thing is youth. Just see youth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. There are 5 places in which youth are there. The first thing, 5 places out of 14 youth are there. Okay. If you see this equation again, this info you need. So info is, there is a negative in info. So you so there will be a negative sign appearing here. See, this is for all the variables. If you can see 1 to V. This is for all the variables of this particular attribute. So here there are 3 variables, that is youth, middle-aged, and senior. So you have to do this for three times. So we are concentrating on youth now. So DJ, J is youth. So DJ, you have to count the number of time tuples where you find youth. Okay. So for this youth, you find it in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have written 5 out of 14. Next is you have to find info D. Info DJ, that is for youth. You have to find information gain using this particular thing. See, this is the info. Info you have to replace info with equation 8.1. That is this. So again, if you remember this particular thing, we have counted how many yes are there, how many no's are there. You have to repeat the same thing. For youth, only when youth is there in the data set, count how many yes are there. where age is youth and class is yes. Out of five places where you find this youth, how many yes are there? Just see the youth row, where how many for how many rows you find age as youth and class as yes.
Sir,
Two
2.
rows.
Two, just two, correct? So 2 out of 5. 2 is yes, where in 5 places where youth comes into picture. Now you have to do the same thing. Log 2 again for the second class. Out of 5 is, if 2 is yes, 3 would be no. Correct? Sorry, this again 2 log 2 of 5 only it will come, because you are doing the same thing. 2 of 5, then log 2 of 5. Then again this is for yes. How many yes are there with value youth? That is 2. One more possibility is respect to no. So 2 is yes, remaining 3 will be no. 3 out of 5. And again log 2 to the base 2, 3 of 5. Hopefully this is clear. This is for youth. You have to do this same for the next value, that is middle aged. Count how many middle aged are there in the entire tuple. How many places middle aged will occur? It is 4, correct? It is 4, correct? Middle age is occurring in 4 times. I mean 4 different rows.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it is 4 of 14. Next, find only in that middle aged row how many yes are there and how many no are there. Just see the middle. You have seen youth and class. Now just see middle aged and class. How many yes are there? How many no are there?
Sir, all four are yes.
All 4 are yes, so there is no no's as such. So here only one part will come into picture. As far as youth is concerned, all 4 of 4 is yes. There is no as such. This one thing. Next, middle age is done. Next is same thing for the remaining thing in age, that is senior. For senior, just see where how many seniors are there. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 are there. 5 out of 14. Again, you have to see how many yes are there in where the senior comes, and how many no's are there? How many S's are there? Just in senior.
So 3.
3 S's are there, so it will be 3 out of 5. Again, log, it is 2 only, everywhere it's 2. Log to the base 2, 3 of 5. This is yes. So 3 of 5 is yes. So obviously remaining 2 will be no. Again, minus 2 of 5 is no. Log of 5. So this, whatever you get, what is the final answer if anyone has calculated? This you get info of D on age. When you try to split the entire data set over the attribute A, this is the info you get. What is the info gain in this? Once you do everything, this plus this plus this, what is the final thing you get? So Yatin has told 0.693, so it is correct. So 0.693 is what you get. This is info D, that is info A of D. What is that you finally require? Gain of on that particular attribute. So it is info D minus info A of D. So info D you have done for this attribute, that is 0.094 0.094 minus info A of D, that is 0.693. You will get somewhere around 0.2. This is gain of age. This is gain of age. This is one attribute. For this, similarly to this, you have to do for income, for student, for credit rating. Okay. Info D will remain the same. This value will remain the same because it is for the entire data set. You have not considered any attribute specific values, but this will change. If you do this with respect to info of income, then you have to count with respect to each thing. There are 3 values again here. One is low, one is high, one is medium. Just go with the same thing. You have to find how many lows are there. Lows is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now this will change. 4 out of 15 is, or 4 out of 14 is low. So with this low, how many yes and no are there? See, yes is 1. This is also yes, so 2. This is 3. So out of 4, 3 is yes. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
I have to change then. 3 out of 4. Same thing here. This is for yes with low. So only one low out of 4 will remain for no. So low is done. Next you have to repeat it for medium. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mediums. So it is like 6 out of 14 is the medium thing. Next, you have to see for how many medium it is yes. It
Sir,
is 1, 2, 3, 4. So for 4 medium out of 6 is yes, and remaining is 2 by 6 is no. Now we have to repeat the same thing for high. So count the number of highs. It is 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 out of 14 is high. So how many highs have yes? It is 1, 2. So 2s and 2 no. So we will replace here. 5 out of 14 is correct. This will become no. What is how many are there? Highest 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So it will be 4 of 14. 2 of Can someone calculate this and tell me gain of income? You have to calculate this first info D of income. This is anyways will remain the same. This is info D, that is the original value. This value will change. The value you get here. And what is the value you get here? Just tell me the final value for income. So Ethan has said it is 0.02896. So it is almost 0.029. What did the value get for this info A of D? So it's 0.911. So final answer is 0.29. So you got info gain of age, info gain of income. Now you have to continue this for student and credit rating also. You will get certain info of I mean this gain of you will get gain of student, gain of credit rating. Okay. So you get values of all of this. Age, what did we get? So only I told lots of calculation is involved. One small mistake, then entire thing will go for it.
sir, I didn't understand one thing.
Yeah.
Sir, in that equation, we took like 2 by 4 log base 2 and again.
Which equation? The above equation.
Sir, and then in log base 2, we took 2 by 5.
No, it is 4. Sorry, this I didn't change. It's like 4 out of 14 samples are senior. Out of this 4, 2 are S and 2 are no. This for student and credit rating. Again, for student, it's easier. It is a binary split, so you'll get just two values. You have to just count the number of no's here, number of s's here, and do it. Credit rating again is just two, fair and excellent. So please don't stop this. If you do this, you will get the gain, final gain I will write 0.151. You have to repeat the entire things here, and for credit rating you get 0.8. Okay. So this is the value you get. So what is that one thing I told you with respect to this? When should you consider? What is the blessed split? Higher gain or lower gain? Gain should be high or low? More or less? Gain should be more or gain should be less? So Ethan tells it's high. So it's correct. So it's like higher the gain, better the split. So highest gain for which did you get? It is for age. Correct. So age is taken as the first attribute for which the data is split. Age is the first attribute for which the data set is split. So for age, you will have youth, middle-aged, and senior. Here your problem doesn't end. This problem will end when you get this particular tree. That's why I told it's little huge. Unless you practice, you will get stuck. Now for youth, you have to just count where youth is present, and that tuple you have to write for income, student, credit, and class. You have to see where the middle-aged thing will come. So remaining rows you have to write. You have to see where senior comes. Remaining rows you have to write. Okay. Once you get this level 1 of tree or diagram 1 or whatever you call it as first level, you have to see whether for any split, like any of the variables, there is a single class. Is there any single class for any of the split? Middle-aged. Prahlad says middle-aged, obviously, because see, all classes are S. Okay. So now what will you do? You replace that entire thing, this entire thing. Okay. You replace this entire thing by one circle in which you write yes. So what you get is something like this. Middle-aged, yes. Okay. Now, whatever you did for this age, you have to repeat for this particular sub data set and this sub data set. You will get, see, you have to do for everything. You have to find info, gain info of this, then info D, basically info D of this data set. Next, you have to find info income, info student, info credit rating for this data set. Find gain of income, find gain of student, find gain of credit rating. See out of this which gain is highest. As far as this problem is concerned, you will get student as the highest gain when you consider this data set and do. So level of the data set, you write student, anyways age is there, middle aged, yes is there, that will be as it is. You write student. For student, you will write whether it's no or yes. Once you draw this, I mean, you can just draw this, the whatever you get. For this particular thing, you will see that class will be no. If there are 3 tuples or 4 tuples, it doesn't matter. For everything, class will be no. So your entire thing will be replaced by a circle and no. Here, your data set will have all the classes as yes, so we'll replace that with as yes. Then you have to repeat everything for this particular subpart: income, student, credit rating, and class. For this data set, find gain of income, gain of student, gain of credit rating, gain of class. So as far as this problem is concerned, for that data set, maybe you'll get credit rating as the one attribute with highest gain out of these four. Out of these four and this data set, you will find credit rating as highest gain. So for that, you will do a split. There are only two values possible in the data set, that is fair and excellent. So you have to write this like this only, the part where for credit rating fair, the remaining things. For credit rating excellent, remaining things in this particular thing. This particular table you have to write. You will see that for fair, it is no. Most probably for fair thing and one thing would be no. And for the data set, and for fair, if you excellent, if you take, it will the data set will be a yes. So that you will replace with no here and yes here. This, once you get this particular data set, your problem is solved. So only since first slide I was telling, the problem looks little big. So unless you practice, it will be very difficult for you. You might tell, I mean, it's an open secret that you might get answers, but answer also whether correct or no, you don't know. That major mistake people have done in assignments. They have quizzes also. Quiz you will get shortly. They have written two answers for one single question. That two answers belong to two different questions. They don't even know what to write. They have copied something, maybe which they have got on WhatsApp. They don't even know that there are two different answers for two different questions. They have written in same box. So if you don't know how to solve, how much ever the help you get, you will end up faring poorly only. With respect to for that information gain, as I told you, info gain is one thing, gain ratio is one thing, and Gini index one thing. You might be asked to use any one of this or all of this. Next we will see the gain ratio part. So for the same data set, we will see the gain ratio part. So one problem with this info gain is it is too much biased towards some attribute for which there are many outcomes. Here their maximum is just 3 outcomes. See, for age it is youth, middle aged, and senior. And income also there are 3. Student and credit rating it's 2. No and yes, and here it is fair and excellent. But consider one example, say product ID. Product ID will be obviously unique. So if there are 1000 tuples, for this product ID, you will find 1000 different values. So if you use this info gain, it prefers to select attributes having the large number of values. So even though product ID might not be the optimal one, you will end up choosing product ID if you choose the gain ratio, I mean the information gain. So one solution for this is use gain ratio. So ID3, that is this particular thing. ID3 is decision tree algorithm. There is a revision of ID3, or you can call successor of ID3, which is called here C4.5. Maybe I will just write that C4.5. C4.5 is one algorithm. ID3, what we saw is ID3. C4.5 is another algorithm, which is a successor of ID3. Okay. It uses an extension to information gain called gain ratio. So as I told you, the problem with information gain is it is biased towards the attribute with many outcomes. So one solution is using gain ratio. Okay. So for gain ratio, you need to have, there is one more equation. You can just note it down. It's called split info. Just note down this particular equation. Hopefully you have noted down. Next, one more thing which we would be requiring is gain ratio. Okay. So this is the what is that equation for gain ratio. Okay. Here gain of A is same as the previous one, that is this particular thing. Okay. So to find Gini index of any attribute, say A, you have to first find info gain and get this particular gain. You have to find info D, you have to find info A of D, and you have to find gain of A. Then only you can find gain ratio. So if the problem asks find the gain ratio or use the gain ratio, you have no other choice than to first calculate info gain, then use the whatever you get it in this particular equation. Gain is the info gain, then split info is this equation. So I will just explain this based on the this data set only. I will just tell you for one thing. Say we are doing for income. Last time I had taken age. This time let me take income. So split info. A is income now of D. Instead of A, you have to replace it with income. Okay. Now the same thing you have to do again. This see, you can see here it is J is 1 to V. So there are three values for income, that is high, medium, and low. So you will have three different summations. So we'll do it for all the values. So you have to count how many highs are there. First count low. There are 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 lows. Let me go back to the this thing. There are 4 lows. So equation is negative of dj by d. Dj is in how many columns or how many rows the value is present. So in 4 places you find low out of 14. into it is again log to the base 2 of 4 of 14. That is equation. I will just go back to the equation of the split info. We are doing split info now. So dj by d into log 2 of dj by d. So here j is for each variable, and here a, the capital A is income. So for income there are 3 variables: low, medium, and high. So you have to count the number of occurrences for low. It is 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Somewhere here, okay. 4 out of 14. So this you do 4 out of 14 into log to the base 2 again. Don't use normal log, it is base 2. Then minus, once low is done, come to medium. Medium, how many, what is the count? 6, I guess. So 6 out of 14 would be medium. And again into log, again base 2, 6 of 14. Next is high. High is 4. In 4 places you find high out of 14 into log to the base 2 again, 4 of 14. So by doing this you get this is also minus. Here also there is a minus. So by doing this you get split info. Has anyone done this? Can someone tell me the answer for this? If someone has done only this much, only the income thing. I just want answer for this. Minus 4 divided by 14 into log 2, 4, 14. Minus 6 into 14 into log base to base 2, 6 by 14. Minus 4 divided by 14 into log to the base 2, 4 by 14. What is the answer you get? Final answer. Anyone doing? If not, please let me know. Because if I stop this thing haphazardly, then if I continue from somewhere in between, you will feel confused. So I just want to finish off this particular thing in this class only, so that the next thing will start. It is 1.55, correct? So it is 1.556 or 1.557 you will get somewhere around this thing. So you have to do now you have to find gain ratio. Okay, so first we have gain of income. Gain of income according to the last thing, gain of this is split ratio. What we have found out just now is split info of income, this value. So you have to find gain. Split info you have found, gain is the previous value. So gain of income you would have got somewhere around 0.029, I guess. So you have to replace this two values in this particular equation. So you will get somewhere around 0.029 divided by 1.557, which would give you 0. Venkata Siva tells 0.186. So that is almost equal to 0.019. Okay. So gain ratio for income is 0.019. For this you have to find for all the attributes, age, what is that, remaining two, student and credit rating. So highest gain ratio will be the split, best split. Okay. Now another thing, last thing is Gini index. This is also one of the attribute selection method. One is info gain, second is gain ratio, third is Gini index. Okay. So for Gini index, these are the three equations which you get. So you have to find first Gini of D for the data set. Again, M is number of classes, so it will be for both the class. Okay, so if you consider this, it will be classes either S or NO. Okay, so it will be 1 minus, there are 9 places where you find S out of 14. So it will be somewhere like, if this is the case, I'll just insert one text box here. So out it is 1 minus according to this particular equation, 1 minus square of 9 by 14, where 9 is yes out of 14 places. So it will be square root. This is square root. Okay. Then again minus 5 of 14, square root 5, in a 5 places of 14 places you find a no. So it is square again. This is square. Don't confuse it with 2. So it is 1 minus 9 by 14 whole square minus 5 by 14 whole square. This is for the classes only. There are 2 classes, only yes or a no. So this PIS, where this yes comes out of, I mean the first class comes out of the total number of tuples, where the second class comes out of total number of tuples. So in 9 places yes comes out of 14, in 5 places no comes out of 14. So you find Gini of that particular thing. So one thing, one specific thing with respect to this Gini is this helps in binary split. Okay. So this helps in binary split. So what do you mean by binary split? Here, if you can see, there are 3 different things here: high, medium, and low. Okay. So when dealing with binary, I mean when dealing with Gini index, what you will do is you will take something like this. For example, it is used for binary split only. So you have to find out first this subset. Take any particular what is that attribute. If I consider income, so there are 3 values for it: high, medium, and low. This is one set. Find all the possible subset. Possible subset would be low high, low medium, medium high, low in one thing, medium and high separately. It's like just the all different possible subsets you have to take: high, medium, low in one single bracket, high low, medium high, and low medium, 2 each in different brackets. Next is separately: low separately, high separately, and medium separately. And one possible thing is you will get empty set. Okay. When you have to calculate subset entire, what all subset you have to first find out the subset. Next you have to remove this set where all things are there. That is, in one of the subset would be a set when all the 3 things would be present, like low, medium, and high. It would be something like this. One set would be low, medium, and it's like low, medium, and high. This you should not consider. Another one subset would be empty set. This you should not consider. Remaining subset you should. Like remaining subset would be something like this: low, high in one, this low, medium in one. So you have multiple sets. So you have to first find all the subsets, then remove the set when entire thing is present and where empty thing is present. Remaining you have to consider for solving the problem. So first thing what I would be considering is considering subset low and medium. I will consider this subset low and medium, for example. So Gini, that is, we are trying to find Gini index now. I might take little extra, please bear with me, because if I stop this again, continuing from again have to repeat. It will be a continuation. This is the last thing. Tree pruning I will not start because this everything is related to a single problem. So only please bear with me for today. Maybe 5-10 minutes extra, not more than that. Gini you have found. Now we have to find Gini A of D. A is the attribute. Since Gini is used only for binary splits, you have to first find out the subset and take one subset where it is something like this. Okay, Gini where income, and this will be something like this. If you take home and where income belongs to, this is belongs to symbol. Just assume this as your belongs to symbol. Okay. Again, this would be subscript again. Okay. So it will be something like this. Okay. So you are calculating this particular thing, Gini, where income belongs to low medium thing. See, one thing with respect to this is you have taken low medium. What is that one thing which is remaining in income? What is it that one thing which is remaining if you remove low and income? Which is, what is that one thing which variable which is remaining now? Apart from low and medium, what is the other third variable in income? Fast. Anyone? Hi. Respond ASAP, because see this, you have, this would be the same. So you did not calculate twice. Gini of income which belongs to low medium is same as Gini of income which belongs to high. Okay. Now we will solve this particular thing. So what is the value of this? This is, as you can see, D1 divided by D and D2 divided by. That is the two splits here. I mean two classes. Okay. What you have to do is, since we are doing for low and medium, okay, count the number of rows in the data set where the value is low medium but the class is yes. How many low medium? Consider both low and medium, but the class is yes. How many counts are there? Out of 14, what is the count? How many values are there? Consider both low and medium, but the class should be high. No, sorry, wait, 1 second, sorry. Just consider, count the number of low and medium. Just tell me how many rows in which, forget the class. Just count lows and medium, low plus medium. Total count of low plus medium. 10. So 10 out of 14. in 10 out of 14 classes, you find the variable as either low or medium. The value, the question tells, I mean the equation. The equation tells this is the value, that is where that particular thing comes. Here the subset we are calculating is low medium, so we have to count number of lows and mediums. So in 10 rows out of 14, you will find either a low or a medium. So 10 divided by 14. Next is Gini of that particular this thing. Gini, here you have to find the classes. Okay. So Gini is 1 minus so here it will be 1 minus out of 10. This will be out of 10 because we are calculating only for low and medium, and you have found out that in 10 places it occurs. So how many yes and how many no? Yatin has already told in 7 places where this comes, low and medium comes, 7 places it is yes. So Gini, you have to do the square root. Then again square root of, in 3 places you will get NO. Again this is square root. Okay. This did you get? This, see Gini, there are 2 things here. You have to split the data into the subsets. So all the subset things, that is low and medium, I have considered low and medium, will come into the first part. The remaining thing, which is not neither low or medium, that is high, will come in the second part of the equation. So out of 14, since 10 is medium high, obviously the remaining 4 out of 14 would be high. For that you have to find out out of only for high you have to find out Gini now. So again Gini will be 1 minus square of, not square root, sorry, it's square of, out of this 4 position where high is occurring, how many are yes and how many are no. So it is 2 and 2. So in 2 places out of 4 places you find high, that is you have to square. Then again minus, in 2 places out of 4 you will find a no, again you have to do square. Once you do this, 10 divided by 14 into 1 minus 7 by 10 the whole square, I mean 1 minus 7 by 10 square minus 3 by 10 square plus 4 by 14, 1 minus 2 by 4 square minus 2 by 4 square. You will get some value, that is 0.443 you will get. Okay. So this 0.443 is equal to Gini of income when you consider this split as low medium, which is equal to Gini of income of high. So the one thing which is left out in this, it will be the same. So you have to find this for the remaining thing. For all the subsets, you have found out for low medium, which is equal to high. Next is low high. You have to find out low high, which would be equal to medium. Next is medium high, which would be equal to low. Okay. So you have to see which is best split on this. So if you can solve in this, you can find that for the first thing which you have done, we have considered low, medium, and high. So for that this thing, you will get your minimum value for this Guinea thing will be minimum. So that you have to consider. Okay. See, this particular Guinea of D, it's there. Guinea A of D, you will consider. So this value, once you consider the difference of this should be less. The difference between this should be less. So till here, you found you will take the attribute for which the gain is maximum. Here you will take the attribute for which the gain ratio is maximum, but here you will take the value for which Guinea A is minimum. Lesser the value, more the, better the split. So for this to become minimum, that is Guinea of A, the delta of Guinea of A, your Guinea of A should be maximum, correct? So you have to find Guinea of A. Then obviously we can just stop at this and tell the maximum is this. So we are going forward with this, or maybe you can just find out this. This would be better. So find out this for which you get the least value for Guinea of A, that is delta of Guinea of A. You have to find the least value. So for this value to become low, obviously this value should become high. More the value of this, lower the value for this delta Guinea of A. So ultimately you will find the Guinea index. You have to take that attribute for which the Guinea index is low. So with this, after taking the attendance, so if you have any doubt, please let me know. Any doubt? Okay. If there are no doubts, we can wind up. Any doubts with respect to the assignments? This will be returned before Thursday's class, maybe tomorrow or day after. Maybe you will get your score out of 15, score out of 5, I guess. No, score out of 15 by most probably by your Thursday's class. 5 assignment you have got, 5 quiz you have got, only 5 is remaining. So any doubts you can ask. Any doubt with respect to the assignment or class? If there are no doubts, you can leave. But if there are any doubts, you can ask. Okay, everyone started telling thank you, and so I'm assuming that there are no doubts with respect to assignment nor class. If you have any doubts, you can bring it up even in the next class. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day.